Hi, this is Josie Mayles. I'm back home, and this is another segment of the ITK. All right, just want to get the everything on. Just are we good? Okay, I'm looking. Hi, this is Josie Mayles, and this is another edition of the ITK Magazine Insider. Just want to bring to you some updates on some good stories that we possibly be using in the fall section of ITK Magazine. First of all, we want to talk about is let's just see today in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, plane had crashed. Um, I'm sorry, a Malaysian. Get this right? Get the story right. A Malaysian plane aircraft had crashed over there somewhere between Ukraine, okay, and the Russian borders, and of course, killing 300 people. I just want to send out our prayers and condolences to the families. I know you guys get tired of prayers and condolences, but this is what we have to do. It's appropriate, and it's like saying you're in our prayers to the families and the victims that of the victims that were involved in the plane incident. It's unfortunately, oh, we got the camera straight. Okay. It's unfortunately that we have these kind of incidents going on and the aggression of it all. You know, the threat that's been made by the governor, and the presidency over there. So we have to kind of. The word was saying that the bomb actually shot the plane, shot the plane down and caused it to crash. It's unfortunate that much anger, that much hatred that we were talking about earlier, to spew over into something killing 300 people. 300 lives are gone now from this earth. And we just want to send those condolences out to the families and the victims. And may their soul rest in peace and justice shall be served. I hate to see that go on, but this is the reality that the haves and have nots and the theory of who rules and who doesn't. Well, we all know who does. For those who are good Christians, we all know that. But moving on to a much more positive story, there'll be more updates on that. So I just want to let you guys know. So if you guys were interrupted with that segment today, 25, whatever, those stations, CBS, ABC, Fox, definitely CNN, and MSB and NBC. They are definitely still trying to calculate what went on in the Ukrainian and Russian area with the Malaysian plane. Um, just want to also talk about too, before we move on, in sports, of course, if you guys want to pick up looking at the Buccaneers website, wonderful photo of course, I did talk about this man here, of course, 100 days with him in the football. He also has a wonderful article, of course, the former coach of the Chicago Bears and the first African American coach. He is another thing that we'll probably just a little exclusive, real nice again for him. But the details of, you don't want to tell all his business, okay? Because y'all probably go, okay. But how, what makes him such a good coach, and it's exciting to see him back in the actual NFL thing. Um, the way he's bringing this new, it was not really new, but what makes him comfortable, and I think and makes his fans, um, here at I said WCPS, here at Chicago Peer Productions, such a fan of his, and magnificent teacher, advocate, and overseer, and definitely giving everybody a good direction and taking everybody's input in. It's kind of implement a football team, inspiring new coaches to come on the scene like he was with the college industry for quite some time. So but that article could be seen on Bucks, Peppermint Bucks website, and you can get that at YouTube. Anyway, it's very interesting. It's written and it's very well. It's very interesting that uh, he is back on the scene and why we're all such a fan. And those who are not, don't worry about it. We ain't saying. Anyway, keep it moving because we are in our direction. As they say, Monica said, on the other side. By the way, she does have an album coming out, and that was something I did speak about that, right? Her, Monica, Kiki, they all have their albums out now. After 14 years, Monica, I haven't checked it out yet, but I will. I will, guys. Okay? And you probably hear some of the good music. You will hear it, matter of fact, on WTPS. Okay, it's in rotation. Okay. We also want to talk about some last night on ESPN for those who are really truly sports fans and not standing out on just go to the games to get you a husband. Okay, you can't come with me and how you do that because you're not really a fan. Okay, but for those who are just basically a sports fan, we have the SB Award, and of course I take my number. Journalist does take a good note, right? And of course, Richard Sherman was one of the first to get an SB that night. And then there was the U.S. soccer team. You had Josh Sweeting to get the Pat Tillman Award. You had Peyton Manning, of course. And then you had Auburn versus Alabama, just to name a few. And Michael Sam, who got the Arthur Ashe Award. Never say never. Um, But the highlight of that night was basically to see Drake. Really, I have to say this, all hats off to you because you did a very good job. I'm not really a Drake fan. I like some of his music, but some of his music is okay. I shouldn't say that. I like all music. It has to sound good. If it sounds good, it sounds right. Because I do have some Drake on in rotation right now. But I just wanted to say, when you see him as a host, I enjoyed every minute of it. And you could be getting a lot of calls for different awards. I mean, he really made it interesting. He was funny, and to see the highlight of it all, he brought a couple of his associates and friends. And Chris Brown, they're good to see you, and it was good to see Brian McKnight. Just to name just a few pointers. It was just really good. I love the way he kind of gives the realness of the sports, how we should perceive it, and then we do. Hell, here at WTPS we do. Um, and we actually do perceive that as what one of the I guess one of the other side of how we should look at sports, right? Just to look at the other highlights, we will talk about. I gotta check this out. I don't know this to be true, so I won't probably even mention it. But they were talking about some other things we gotta leave out. But will talk about it later on. It will be highlighted in the fall magazine. You know, people, it's not nice to actually come out and admit certain things in life. But like I said, there's 3 stories I won't mention yet. I'm gonna keep y'all on the team. Here at WTPS, we do not kid around. We do get the facts straight, and we do not go around lying on anyone. So if you guys are still following Beyonce and Jay Z, I hope y'all let it go. Um, because I believe they were in counseling, marriage counseling. That's on that tour thing, on tour. So that's pretty good. We all have problems in relationships. I'm not about to mention it, but the thing is, no matter what the situation is, you try your best to keep in touch with the relationship, the best relationship, and that's with God. If you don't have that, then you can't necessarily see your way out of anything. Because God is the solution to all, not problems. I get tired of people all the time. Y'all want to mention God is when you got problems. But when you having that good time with your friends, you got the money, everything's coming in, seems so good. Where's the mention of God? However, for me to tell you this, God is all things, and He's all for everyone. Remember that. The relationship that you want to prepare yourself for, you got to have a good relationship. Number one thing is that it's with Him. Once you get that down pat, everything else is like butter. I should know. I can tell you that. Having a radio station that's on air is a good thing. Having a school that starts, and this is my third year going into play, and a graduation the following year, all Him. And finally, having this wonderful company called Cosmopia Productions. So this has been a nice segment for you. This is Josie Mabel coming to you from my personal studio, and I'm back home. And I will talk to you soon furthermore and get that issue out in the fall. But meanwhile, enjoy the rest of your summer. And of course, I'll be back to you with the highlights of training camp, which is coming up, all 32 teams. That's next week, okay? And then other highlights throughout the summer, rest of the summer. This has been a segment of the Insider of ITK Magazine Scoops. And remember, we're always on the scene. I know, right? We're always on the scene, and we try to get the best stories out there. And look, I hope all these the meaning relationships that have arise, they can come to some kind of peace symbol in between the two that are battling. I'm gonna get on off air talking to you. This is Josie Mabel from ITK Magazine. Pick up a copy. We still have the summer. Very interesting and very detailed and good and good reading. Good stories and good reading. Talk to you soon.